Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of English Edge. I'm Fiona, and I'm so glad you're joining me today. It's Friday, June 20th, 2025. Happy Friday. As we head into the weekend, we've got an intense international story to explore today. Let's dive in. Today's article is titled, Trump considers U.S. role in Iran-Israel conflict. U.S. President Donald Trump will decide within 2 weeks whether the United States joins the Iran-Israel war, the White House said. He linked the deadline to the substantial chance that new talks with Tehran could begin soon. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told reporters that everyday Trump supporters should trust him. His top priority, she said, is making sure Iran never builds a nuclear weapon. Yet she refused to discuss hypotheticals such as congressional approval or Iranian visits to Washington, keeping the administration's stance intentionally vague. Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister Saeed Khatibzadeh warned the BBC that U.S. involvement would bring hell for the whole region and create a quagmire, and that the fight is not America's war. He wants diplomacy first, but says missiles must stop before talks can start. Reuters said U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff has phoned Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi several times, and European ministers will meet Tehran's team in Switzerland on Friday. Speculation grew after CBS reported that Trump had approved strikes, but was delaying action to see if Iran abandoned its program. His aides keep saying that Iran has never been closer to finishing a bomb, a view he backs despite earlier intelligence doubting it. On Truth Social, he replied that the Wall Street Journal has no idea what he thinks. Officials note that only U.S. bombs can reach Fordo, a deep mountain site Iran calls civilian. On the battlefield, an Iranian missile struck beside Soroka Medical Center in southern Israel on the 19th of June, wounding 71 people. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu inspected the damage. Israel says 24 people have been killed nationwide since fighting began. Iranian state media last counted 224 deaths on the 15th of June, while rights group HRANA puts Iranian deaths since Friday at 639. Overnight, Israel bombed the inactive Arak reactor and hit Natanz again. That was a powerful article, wasn't it? Let's take a closer look at some of the key words you might have heard. Our first word is substantial. Substantial is an adjective that means large in amount or importance. For example, there is a substantial chance that the talks will start soon. Our second word is hypothetical. Hypothetical is an adjective that means imagined or suggested, but not real or certain. For example, she refused to discuss hypothetical scenarios. Our third word is quagmire. Quagmire is a noun that means a complicated and difficult situation. For example, the war could become a political quagmire. Our fourth word is speculation. Speculation is a noun that means guesses about what might happen. For example, there was speculation about a military strike. Our last word is inspect. Inspect is a verb that means to look at something carefully. For example, he inspected the damage after the attack. Now that we've gone over those words, let's take a moment to think about the story as a whole. Can you summarize it in your own words? It's great practice for building your fluency. Here's one example summary to guide you. President Trump may soon decide on U.S. involvement in the Iran-Israel war. Officials focus on stopping Iran's nuclear ambitions. Iran warns against intervention, calling for missile ceasefire before talks. Fighting has already caused many deaths. Let's see how well you understood the article. I'll ask you a few questions, and you can try answering them out loud. Ready? Here we go. Our first question is, what did Caroline Leavitt say about Trump's priorities? A. She said Trump wants to improve relations with Iran. B. She said Trump's top priority is to build stronger regional ties. C. She said Trump's top priority is to prevent Iran from making nuclear weapons. D. She said Trump's top priority is winning public support for action. Take a moment to think. The correct answer is C. She said Trump's top priority is to prevent Iran from making nuclear weapons. Next up, question 2. What condition did Iran give before starting talks with the U.S.? A. The U.S. must leave the region completely. B. Missiles must stop before diplomacy can begin. C. The U.S. must recognize Iran's nuclear program. D. Israel must stop all military actions. Got your answer? The correct choice is B. Missiles must stop before diplomacy can begin. And here's the third and final question. What event increased speculation about Trump's decision? A. Trump announced a surprise visit to Iran. B. CBS reported Trump delayed action after approving strikes. C. The Wall Street Journal published a detailed plan. D. Congress demanded immediate military intervention. Think it over. The correct answer is B. CBS reported Trump delayed action after approving strikes. Now it's your turn. I'd love to hear your thoughts on today's topic. Do you think the United States should get involved in the Iran-Israel conflict? I'll give you a moment to think. Here's one opinion from someone who supports U.S. involvement. I believe the U.S. should get involved in the Iran-Israel conflict. Firstly, involvement could help stabilize the region by deterring Iran's nuclear ambitions. If the U.S. shows strength, Iran might take diplomatic talks more seriously, and the spread of weapons could be stopped. Secondly, U.S. presence could support allies like Israel and protect civilians. Having American forces could discourage further missile attacks and save innocent lives in both countries. In conclusion, U.S. intervention may be necessary to promote peace, prevent nuclear threats, and protect lives in the region. And here's a different viewpoint from someone who is against U.S. involvement. I do not think the U.S. should get involved in the Iran-Israel conflict. Firstly, involvement could make the situation worse by increasing tensions. U.S. military action might anger more countries and turn the conflict into a larger war, making it harder to resolve. Secondly, it is not the U.S.'s war, and intervention may waste resources. The U.S. should focus on diplomacy and avoid unnecessary violence, especially when lives are already being lost. In conclusion, staying out of the conflict could help avoid escalation and encourage peaceful solutions through diplomacy. That's all for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining me here on English Edge. I hope you found this discussion engaging and informative. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you again next week.